In today's episode, I'm talking about stepping out of our comfort zone, but how we're going to do it in easy and gentle steps.
This is how legends are made.
Hi there guys, and thanks for joining me again on this episode of The Daily J. And as ever, what I'm trying to do is find little techniques or advice or real tips that can actually help give you some real positive impact to your world for the better. One of the things that came to my mind just today actually, and the credit isn't mine, the credit goes to my father. We were talking on the phone and he just mentioned something which kind of thought, oh yes, that's worth sharing, and it's a great little technique, and it's about pushing against our boundaries or kind of stepping out our comfort zones. Now, this is something you know that I've spoken about in the past, about how we should broaden this so we can really experience ourselves in a different way. We can really, find out what our limits really are by pushing ourselves out against or over our kind of comfort zone. And that is fantastic, and that hasn't changed. What can also be kind of scary is doing that. We can also sometimes feel we have to do big gestures, large things which take us beyond our comfort zone. And we may get kind of the ideas that come to my mind and think, oh, I'm going to go off and bungee jump or jump from a helicopter or whatever it may be. These are the big things I must go and do, and these are quite frightening things, but I'm pushing against my comfort zone. And they may work for you, and that can be absolutely fine. But for a lot of other people, it can be about taking small steps. And so this episode is more about noticing that we can make small steps to kind of push against our comfort zone. So the example my dad was talking about was that he's recently joined an art appreciation society, something that he's got no experience with whatsoever, but he was quite happy to go along. He likes art and so on, but he's certainly not knowledgeable, and he knows that. And quite quickly he realized that there was meant to be a lot of feedback. He was meant to be like sharing his thoughts and ideas about some of the pieces of work, and there was no real pressure about that, but he was expected to do that. And I was thinking, gosh, that's great though, because what that's doing is kind of pushing against a comfort zone. He is unfamiliar with all the details and the understandings and the thinking behind certain parts of art or particular artworks or periods. I mean, he enjoys it, but to start describing how he feels is pushing against his comfort zone. Now, it's that which I think is really fascinating. These are very small things, but for him, I think, and he's still to experience this, is that it's taking him a little bit beyond himself, but in a comfortable way. Sure, little uncertainty, maybe he's a little bit scared or anxious about how it goes, but there's something in there which is quite gentle. So from that, I thought it's quite useful to say that, look, we need to find ways that we can actually find our comfort zone, but in a gentler form. And these can be done in a very simple way. We can change our habits, we can push against our boundaries very easily. Maybe you go to a different coffee shop than you usually have done before. Maybe you take a different journey on the way home. Something that just simply disrupts a little bit of your normal pattern, but also pushes against your comfort zone a little bit. And I think when we experience these on a consistent basis, we kind of grow a little bit more. We see things we hadn't seen before. So taking from what my dad said and sharing that with you today, find something that you could maybe do differently, maybe make a different choice, maybe go somewhere that you wouldn't normally go to just to go and discover and see what it's like. And if it pushes against your comfort zone, just embrace that gentle feeling of doing something different. Because I do feel that on the other side of that, there's growth and a degree of happiness. You could look back and think, wow, I did something I wouldn't usually do. I mean, gosh, as it came to me, go to a pub or a bar and play snooker or a pool or whatever, the things you wouldn't normally do, or go out and catch some live music, something you don't usually do, but you want to do, but you don't usually do it, stepping yourself out of your comfort zone. Find a way to do it. Grab a friend, go and do something different, go to the spa, go to the music, whatever you find is against that line of boundary that you've got, and to see what happens on the other side. And reward yourself that no matter what you experienced in that time, you've done something that you kind of didn't think you could do. And even these little inch steps are super valuable in how we see ourselves and developing our own confidence and assertiveness in who we are. So I challenge you, go and find something that you haven't done before, however gentle it may be. If it scares you a little bit, perfect. Just step over that boundary line and see what's on the other side waiting for you. I think you'll find it's something deeply rewarding. But if you have enjoyed today's episode and you've got some value from it, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that like button. And I would love to get any comments or ideas for any future vlogs or episodes that you'd love to have, any particular burning subject that's on your mind. Please let me know about that. Any other questions, let me know those on Twitter or Instagram or even Facebook. I'll answer every single one of you. But other than that, I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are, and I'll catch you next time.
This is how legends are made.